Alright guys, so this is the last lesson in the training series on how I made my first 100K from buying website businesses. And you already know how to buy websites, you know where to buy them, you know how to do your due diligence before you buy a site, but you should really know how to negotiate and structure a deal that works well for you. And by the end of this lesson, you're going to know how to structure a deal to minimize your risk and also negotiate when buying a website to ensure you get the best possible price for you. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you can get updated when I upload new videos about this every single week. Now, the first thing that you need to be learning when you come to putting an offer in is you need to structure the deal the right way that's going to be beneficial to you. And there's some different types of structures. And the first type of structure is pretty simple. It's just paying all out cash for a website business. Now, paying cash in our space when you're buying website businesses is king. It's preferred by all the website brokers. So if somebody's coming up against you and they're looking at a website you're looking at and you're both doing due diligence, when it comes to the person who offers the most amount in cash is probably going to win the deal because it's a lot easier for the seller to just get the cash, and that's exactly what they want from selling their business. So cash is a preferred method that website brokers and sellers usually want. The next one is an earnout. What an earnout actually is where you can put down a percentage of down payment for the business and pay the rest out over a period of time. Usually when we're buying a website business, an earnout is structured with somewhere in between say 50 to 90% down. Normally it'd be no less than probably 70% down payment, right? And then the rest would usually be that 30% would be paid out over, say, a period of a couple of months, okay? And the reason that we like to do this as an earnout is, say I buy a 100K website business and I pay $70,000 in cash, and I decide to pay $10,000 over 3 months, which is the rest of the 30%, what happens is I still get to have involvement and communication with the seller, which is really good for that 3 months so I can learn more about the business and they're still a little bit involved. Now, the next cash structure is seller financing. Now, what seller financing is, it's exactly the same as an earnout, but with seller financing is you're financing this amount, which means normally you have to pay interest on this amount, and that interest will be determined between yourself and the agreement that you have with the seller as well. Preferably, I like to go for an earnout in any of the businesses that I buy because it means that I don't need to pay a percentage of interest back on the repayments that I'm making. Now, there's different variations on these different types of structures. Like I said before, cash is preferred by the brokers. Earnout is preferred by me and my clients and probably most of you guys. Seller financing is good for both of you if you don't have all of the income or all of the money to pay for the website business. You can use seller financing and put most of the money or the cash down on the business and pay the rest out financed through the actual seller. And last but not least, what I want to talk about is negotiating. Now, when it comes to negotiating, people hear the word negotiate and they feel it needs to be a battle between the seller and yourself as the buyer, or the buyer and the broker, and it doesn't need to be this way. What I find is most important when we're buying a website business is building and keeping great relationships with sellers and brokers, which is why I believe when you're negotiating, never ever lowball and never ever play games. And the reason that we never lowball is because we don't want to be that person that just puts in a ridiculous offer that doesn't even get recognized by the seller or the broker because they see that you're playing games. Especially in our space when there's a lot of buyers looking for website businesses, is a lowball offer is just going to burn a bridge and burn a relationship with a seller and a broker, especially when there's other people who aren't doing lowball offers and they've got the money and they're prepared to pay a fair price for the business. So what I suggest you do is be really good at your due diligence and submit just one offer and stick with that offer because you know that's what the business is worth and you know how valuable it is. This is going to help you maintain and build relationships without having to do constant battles backwards and forwards between brokers and sellers and wasting everybody's time, including your own. Now, when it comes to having a structure and negotiating and to the business end of the deal when you're looking to buy a website business, my biggest advice for you as a newbie and anybody that's making any investment is to not be emotional about the decisions you make. It's really easy to get caught up in the numbers and see that this business is only for sale for X amount and I could make all of this money, and we start picturing this vision and this life and how we could be living differently with this business. Now we start to picture the good things and we forget what's actually involved with the deal and how much risk may be involved with it as well. So we need to be logical and not emotional about our decisions. And what helps is having somebody who's done this time and time again on your side, or somebody to at least look over your due diligence who knows what they're actually doing. So guys, that's it for this mini course. For more lessons, make sure you hit the subscribe button to the channel. And if you haven't already, make sure you go through and get my due diligence framework. This is the due diligence framework that I personally use. I've refined over many, many years, and my clients also use it. And it's made myself and my clients hundreds of thousands of dollars through buying great websites that aren't lemons. So if you want to buy a website business, you want to do it the right way, and you want to ensure that you're great at your due diligence, go down below to the link in the description, click the link and grab the due diligence framework.